What's up, dude?
What's up, man?
How you doing?
It's good to see you,
Good to see you too. Look,
Heck yeah, dude.
got it on the shirt.
So good.
Looks good.
Yeah, man.
Looks real good. You did a killer job on it.
Thanks.
Threw
dude.
that icon on the front. You like it?
Perfect.
Yeah.
Heck yeah, dude.
Awesome. Well, grab your stuff. You can come sit down with me. It's cool. That's yours.
Dude, thank you. You're the man.
So what you up to, man? What's been going on?
Doing a lot of work.
Yeah?
Trying to grow in a lot of areas in my art, kind of figuring out where I want to take it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, just kind of experimenting with a lot of different styles.
Gotcha.
So, yeah, man.
Well, before I forget, I probably should have done this earlier. This is Brett Wilbanks. Yep, Brett. He's the man behind the magic on the artwork that's hanging on the front of our church right now. It's, pretty cool. Is it in terms of scale? Like, is this the biggest you've seen your art put on display
yeah,
before?
Definitely. Yep. I've as of right now, I'm doing like a mural, like in downtown Greenville, but it's nowhere as big as the banners. So it's like pretty cool to like, especially because I designed it like on an app in my iPad that I actually drew, and to see that like blown up is like
It's amazing.
pretty awesome.
Yeah.
So you can like transfer that to like something so big.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah, man.
So like, man, what was, when we sat down and talked the first time about this piece, I had no idea what I wanted. I just knew that I wanted it to be kind of folk art-y, and I knew that I wanted a believer to make it, So we talked about John 1, in the beginning was the Word was with God, the Word was God, and that's really about all I gave you. I didn't give you a whole lot. So how did you come up with the shirt, or what the design that we have on the shirt?
Yeah. So I am very big into folk art, and I wanted to. My kind of whole thing was like wanting to take the simplicity of like shapes and just like folk art and like communicate a story if I could throughout the piece. And so when you told me the title that we need a miracle, immediately for some reason, I just kind of went to like the Gospels and just like Jesus' time when he performed like miracles that like led up to like the greatest like miracle of all to me. I mean, just being like saved in Jesus, being to have a relationship with God because of Jesus Christ. So I just kind of like recalled like a lot of like the miracles that Jesus performed, and I know I just wanted like it being pretty much from like him being born, and as it goes up, it kind of tells the story of the miracles. Even like as growing up as a kid, like you just remember the stories of him, like with the fish and loaves of bread, and then giving the guy like sight, to deaf man being able to hear again. And then I wanted to top it off with the center point being like Jesus coming to die for sinners and making a way right with us to have a relationship with God.
Oh wow!
I wanted that to be like the focal point, and that's why I have that up at the center at the top. Yep. And I was literally just drawing that one night with the hands, the nail scarred hands, and then like formed that cross in the middle. Yeah. So that I feel like that was just like the icing on the cake for the whole piece.
That's awesome.
But yeah, man, that was pretty much just the kind of like gospel. Just weave throughout like these little icons and illustrations.
Grab that T-shirt for a second.
Yeah, man.
Let's lay it out here, and let's take a look at what we're talking about here. So you're talking about this icon here. This is essentially the gospel message right here, right? Yep. So here's the cross you were talking about. This kind of made up of the hands. Yeah. And the nail scarred hands there. It's just absolutely incredible. And all this stuff flows. It's like it's like you followed a timeline from here all the way up. Yep.
For sure.
You think about each icon. I was talking to JG about this. This right here in and of itself is a miracle. Yeah. That Mary and Joseph's relationship survived. Yeah. In a culture that said that what happened to Mary isn't possible.
Yeah.
You should divorce her.
Yeah.
That in of itself is a miracle.
Yep.
You know. And then you move over here and you actually see Jesus, you know, knowing what he's going to do and the fact that he was born of her.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, and I think the thing too for me is the fact that just Jesus, like being in heaven, like leaving his like heavenly status, just to like come to be able to like identify with us and like be in human form, like take on human flesh. That in itself too is just like amazing and just like it's a miracle, you know.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Now, some of the folks, you know, when I showed them this, there were some of the icons they got really, really quick. Like this one, obviously, is the you know, feeding the 5,000, right? But this one right here, if you're not like a real artsy person, this looks almost Egyptian.
Yeah,
you know?
Exactly.
So explain this one to us.
So this one is pretty much, to me, was just a simple way of showing the, you know, Jesus giving sight to the blind.
So no pupil can't see, pupil can see.
Yep.
Oh wow, that's really cool.
And then this was a really fun part too, the empty tomb. So you got the stone, and then the stone being rolled away from that one. And then of course, dove just kind of representing like the Holy Spirit, because you know when Jesus ascended and left, he promised that he would send a helper. Yeah. So that's why I included that one right there.
That's really cool. Now this may totally be nothing. It may be something. The stars right here, they're kind of in the shape of drops. Was that supposed to represent something, or was that?
No, it's just kind of just like an aesthetic, just to like kind of like fill it in. But then at the same time, it's funny because like when I was designing it kind of looks like teardrops, and so I don't know. A part of that kind of like speaks to me too in a way, at least for being the kind of the person that designed it. It's just like, you know, what the gospel was like giving birth to, like what Jesus went through was like super painful, but like there's like a redemption, you know, obviously the redemptive like process and ending to it. So I guess that's kind of like left for open to interpretation. Yeah. If people like want to connect it anyway, I kind of like I kind of hope my art does that. Yeah. It's kind of like open-ended sometimes, because it's kind of cool to like because like what I could take from it could completely different from somebody else, but like when I hear somebody else talk about it, I'm like, whoa, I would have never like taken that from that. So that's like pretty sweet to like hear different like takes on it.
So if there was one thing, I mean, there's a lot in this piece. There's a whole lot. If there was one thing, somebody's lost, they had not known Jesus ever, there's one thing that you're trying to tell them in this piece. What is it? Man, I know that's loaded.
Yeah,
it's a lot.
I know, it's totally fine. I love good questions. I don't know, for some reason, like this piece alone up here to me.
The nail-scarred hands.
Yeah, and just in relation with this, to me, this whole section. I don't know. I would love it for it to start the conversation or communicate the story that yes, Jesus is God, but also that he came to earth to live the life that we could never live, and then he died a death that, you know, we rightfully deserved, but he made a way, and that he understands like the hurt and the pain that we go through. Because I know for me it's like easy to kind of like separate like Jesus and his humanity too. So the fact that he became, like, he entered the world, like all of us entered the world, is just amazing to me. So I guess if I want people to get anything from it, that Jesus is holy, and that like he is God, but like he was also like human too. So like he hears our prayers, he understands our pain, like he gets it. So I want people to feel hope from it, you know. And obviously there's not much words on it, so it's like kind of cool to like, it's like a conversation starter. So sure. I'm hoping that it would start conversations for people that like are walking by or just like pass by the building.
Oh man, it definitely has. We've had, I can't tell you, I wore my shirt for the first time yesterday. And just walking around in the community, people are like, hey, I mean, I know it's a Christmas thing, but what does this mean? What does this mean? What are y'all trying to say here? It's a huge conversation starter. So
awesome.
It is awesome. Gospel conversations lead to conversion and people getting to know Jesus for the first time. So, dude, your work did that.
Thank the Lord.
That's right. That's right. We're
awesome.
grateful for you. Grateful for what God's doing in you, and we look forward to
doing it, man.
Oh, glad to. We can't wait to see how God uses this, but how God uses you more in the future. So.
Yeah, man. Awesome. Thanks, man.
Thanks, dude.
I appreciate it.
Appreciate it. Thank you.